Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is June 20th, 2018, and we're rocking out to February by Elsie or Els High. I don't know how to pronounce that. Nice joint though. I like this track. Shout out to my man CBD88. Thank you for that, fella. Hope you guys are doing well today. We got a couple things we want to address today. One being an article that I didn't get a chance to do yesterday because there were one other article I wanted to definitely get in yesterday. It was kind of breaking news, but this is out of the BIS, which is the Bank of International Settlements. If you guys don't know, they did a research report, if you want to call it, saying that cryptos could overburden the internet's infrastructure. I want to go over that. We'll take a look at that. Some compelling arguments on their end. You know, I don't really anything BIS, central bank, IMF. They're talking cryptos. I'm like, because you know, cryptos kind of threatens their infrastructure, their regime. So I normally take their stuff with a grain of salt, but they may have something compelling here. So we'll take a look at that. Also, we got the world's 6th largest crypto exchange has been hacked, people. We'll take a look at the details about that. $30 million stolen. This happened late last night, I believe. Why this is important and why I want to really touch on this particular article is simply because if you take a look at the markets, they ain't looking too bad. Actually, they're looking green. So to see some very bearish news hit the news wire and the markets kind of shrug it off, to me is, again, one of those very small things we need to look at in regards to sentiment in the markets. And I think we're starting to change sentiment here. So hopefully this is yet another good sign for us. So we'll take a look at which exchange was hacked in a second here. But first, let's take a look at that market cap. $289 billion. Bitcoin's dominance is slightly up, is at 40% flat, just about. Yeah, we're looking kind of good, people. We had a nice bid under the market happen an hour or two ago, kind of shot us up. Let's quickly look at that. Bitcoin is up 6% on the week. Ethereum's up even more, 13% on the week. Bitcoin Cash, 6.5% almost. EOS, 6%. Litecoin, 4.5%. Tron is killing it still. We'll take a look at that in a couple days. I think there's some news about Tron that I want to cover that may be related to why we're seeing such a spike. But look at this, people. Again, this is my floor, 6,600. Guess what we're doing? We're bouncing right off of it. A few hours ago, we had a nice move off of that low, off of that support line. Be honest with you guys, man. Trading is fairly easy. I trade with almost no oscillators, no indicate, none of that stuff. Just support, resistance, and I will use a Fibonacci retracement here and there. But that kind of correlates with any support and resistance lines you got going on, man. You just trade around those, you know. A lot of traders try to make it more complicated than it has to be, and it really is not that complicated. It takes years, though. The irony of it is, it takes years for you to come back to this simple method of trading. Support and resistance lines, people. Pretty much it. I'm still bullish here. Anything above 6,600, we're looking good. We start to head back down below here, not just one or two candles, I mean like 6, 7, 8 candles on an hour chart, then I would be a little bit more concerned. But until then, I'm still looking for a target of 60 or 7,300, I should say. First article, it's out of Cointelegraph. World's 6th largest crypto exchange by trading volume hacked. BitThumb. I don't know if it's called BitHum or BitThumb. I think it's BitThumb. So it says here, hackers have stolen cryptocurrencies worth $30 million from South Korea's leading virtual currency exchange, BitThumb. Cointelegraph Japan reported June 19th. As a result, all deposits and payments have been temporarily suspended. And here's a tweet from BitThumb official Twitter account. It says here, all deposits and withdrawal service will be stopped to make sure the security. We will keep notice you of the restart of the service. It looks like these niggas scrambling. They can't even type correctly here. Man, we apologize for your inconvenience and thanks for your understanding. So it says here, the exchange states it will compensate users affected by the hack and that all assets are being moved to a cold wallet. Article goes on to say here, Bithumb moved a large amount of Ethereum to its cold wallet when they recently noticed abnormal access. On June 16th, Bithumb announced an abrupt server check in order to maximize security settings. The maintenance was planned for 5:20 a.m. and to 9 a.m. but exceeded the scheduled time. According to Korean resident officials from the Sentinel Protocol, a project specializing in hacking, scam, and fraud detection, the hot wallet was hacked on the night of June 19th, and some of the stolen coins include Ripple. According to CoinMarketCap, Bithumb's 24-hour trading volume at press time is over $374 million, the world's sixth largest. Earlier this month, hackers stole around $37 million from South Korean crypto exchange CoinRail, while CoinRail was only ranked 99th largest crypto exchange in the world in terms of trade volume. Some in the media claim the hack was responsible for crashing crypto markets. Industry journalist and commenter Joseph Young said, this is horrible. It's great that they're going to be refunding the individuals their money. It's just, this is going to continue to happen with centralized exchanges. It's just a point of failure. You know, you've got all these attack vectors coming at them constantly, 24/7. You can't catch every single one of them. And so that's why I'm excited, and I can't wait until a lot of these DEX platforms really get going and become popular. Binance is working on one. You've got Kyber. There's a lot of them actually out there, and really we need to start supporting those types of platforms because, hey, your money's not safe on an exchange. It just simply isn't. So if you got to trade, make the trades and get your money off of these exchanges. It's just unfortunate. But what I want to make a point, my two Satoshis on this whole situation is this. Seeing that this hack occurred and the markets are up, or there was a bid under the markets, to me tells me that sentiment is changing for the better. The bulls are starting to take over. I think this news a month ago would have made the markets go down another 5-10% easily, especially Bithumb being sixth largest exchange in the crypto sphere. I think this is a good indicator. You guys got to let me know, what do you think? We've had a lot of, since January, since really kind of the end of December last year into January, we've been in a bearish market, and those cases, good news did nothing for the markets. Bad news accelerated the markets downward. So I'm hoping that we're starting to see a shift in sentiment. You guys got to let me know your thoughts on that. The other article I want to cover, and I did not get a chance to do this yesterday, was out of CryptoVest. And this is a report coming from the Bank of International Settlements. It says here, cryptocurrencies could bring the internet to a halt. The Bank of International Settlements' most recent report asserts that cryptocurrencies could overburden the internet's infrastructure, but there's a little more to this than meets the eye. So it says here, the Bank of International Settlements just finished an annual economic report and pre-released a portion of it on Sunday. The release revealed the bank's official opinion on cryptocurrencies and their limitations. In the company's paper, it brought up concerns about the ability of the coin's infrastructures to handle the full brunt of all the retail transactions that happen today. It says, to quote from the report, to process the number of digital retail transactions currently handled by selected national retail payment systems, even under optimistic assumptions, the size of the ledger would swell well beyond the storage capacity of a typical smartphone in a matter of days, beyond that of a typical person's computer in a matter of weeks, and beyond that, servers in a matter of months. Indeed, perhaps one of the biggest problems plaguing most coin blockchains today is the fact that every computer acting as a node has to store a copy of the entire ledger, the full history of all transactions ever executed on their backbones. Currently, Bitcoin's blockchain reaches around 200 gigs with transaction volumes that are nowhere near as high as those by Visa or MasterCard. No, they're not even close. Under such a model, it would eventually be impossible for a normal computer to run a full node. Inevitably, the Bitcoin blockchain would reach several terabytes in size, allowing only technically savvy users with the resources to buy several 10 terabyte drives to run full nodes. And this is a problem that the cryptocurrency community is already aware of and anticipating. So it goes on to say here, for now, of course, that isn't quite the case. 200 gigabytes fits comfortably inside standard hard drives. So today, and we don't anticipate Bitcoin's blockchain ballooning to exabyte levels anytime soon. Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency, though, and there are already a number of foundations focused on solving this issue. Vitalik Buterin, for example, proposes sharding the Ethereum network, which will make it less cumbersome to download and process all transactions. Under this model, full nodes won't have to process the entirety of the network's grunt work, instead getting pieces of it asynchronously. Buterin alleges that the Ethereum network would theoretically be capable of processing 1 million transactions per second under this model. Goes on to say it could bring the internet to a halt. The second problem that BIS sees in blockchain technology is the amount of processing power required to verify transactions and the amount of traffic required to broadcast them to all nodes in the network. This is again from an excerpt from the report. It says here, the issue goes well beyond storage capacity and extends to processing capacity. Only supercomputers could keep up with the verification of the incoming transactions. The associated communication volumes could bring the internet to a halt as millions of users exchange files on the order of magnitude of terabytes. So it goes on to say here, but how large are blocks in the network like Bitcoin anyway? Historically, a block on Bitcoin's chain never surpassed 1 megabyte. One of these blocks is often processed by the cryptocurrency networks every 10 minutes. So let's say there are 100,000 full nodes in the network. There are actually around 10,000 at this moment, but we want to provide a generous number. That means that every 10 minutes, 100,000 megabytes of traffic are generated on the internet. That sounds enormous, but it's a tiny blip compared to thousands of terabytes that go through pipelines on a daily basis. Sharding and other scalability improvements, we can confidently expect a reduction in the amount of data transferred between all nodes on the network. In conclusion, the Bank of International Settlements report looks at cryptocurrencies networks with all the flaws they currently have. Granted, we can't predict how they'll be over the next few years, but ignoring the improvements that some altcoins have already implemented or other mainstream coins are currently working on doesn't do justice to the potential of the cryptocurrency market. So, you guys let me know what you think about this article. I definitely think they were brushing a broad stroke on all of the cryptocurrency projects out here that are tackling this issue. I don't think bandwidth is going to be much of an issue. Space definitely could be an issue. And in my opinion, one thing that they didn't mention was energy. The amount of energy used to mine over, if you scale this up, let's just use Bitcoin. I'm just going to use Bitcoin. We scale Bitcoin mining network or network capacity up to where you'll have more and more mining rigs and nodes running. Cost is definitely going to be an issue as far as energy and the use of energy. So if we don't come up with better energy alternatives, I think that will be an issue that we will need to address or come head on with in the near future. So you guys got to let me know what your thoughts are on this BIS report. I'm not with it. There are some hurdles, but I think we're so early in the game still, even 9 years in, we're so early in the game that a lot of these issues will be resolved. Though I do have concerns about storage in the next 2 to 3 years if we're actually going to use Bitcoin as what it was intended to be used for. If we're going to use it for speculation and just digital gold, then I don't think it'll be an issue. You guys got to let me know. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'm out. Holla.